Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Amanda here, your plant-based lifestyle physician and health coach who is here to educate and empower you so you can make a healthy decisions to live your most abundant life. So I have to give my disclaimer that even though we are medical professionals, we are not giving you any specific medical advice to treat, cure, or diagnose any illnesses. So please contact your own medical professional if you have any specific questions. So I have a guest with me today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. We have Dr. Nikita Shah. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. So I'm Dr. Nikita Shah. I'm a family medicine and obesity medicine doctor here in Orlando, Florida. I founded Weight Sense, which is a clinic designed to help your weight make sense. And it focuses on all the pillars that encompass obesity medicine so that we can really get to the root cause of what's keeping the weight on and preventing it from getting off.
Wonderful, wonderful. Because I know a lot of people struggle with that, trying to figure certain things out. But today we're going to concentrate on sugar. So I want to ask you here. So some people think certain things are good or bad. So would you say certain sugars are good or bad for you? And is there certain sugar substitutes or natural sugar sweeteners that are better than others, or should we just totally stay away from it?
Oh, I often get that question a lot. So I'll hear, hey, doctor, is all sugar bad? And I can't eat any sugar because I have diabetes. So that means I can't eat even the fruit. Mm-hmm. So I want to say that there are two main groups of sugars. There's the natural fructose, not high fructose corn syrup, but natural fructose, which is in fruit. Mm-hmm. And that comes with fibers and micronutrients. And even for patients with diabetes, it's safe to eat. So I encourage eating sugar in the fruit form. Now we get into the man-made sugars, which are high fructose corn syrup, cane sugars, beet sugars. There's like 60 euphemisms for sugar. And it's all sugar. And really our body has a hard time processing it. It leads to a lot of inflammation, and it also leads to weight gain. So for a lot of my patients, when we think of the fat on our body, really it's adipose tissue. It's different than the fats that we consume. Mm-hmm. And what's really happening in the big link is when we're eating when we're drinking sugar sweetened beverages, when we are eating candies, cookies, all the holiday treats that are around, muffins, the donuts, the gingerbread men, all those things, we're eating it, and then our body is left with trying to decide, what do I do with this foreign material? And I don't know what to do with it, so I'm going to store it as fat. And so a big key to why a person may be struggling with their weight, and I'm not here to villainize sugar, because there's many reasons a person can have struggles with their weight. But a big key that's lost is the actual sugar content of our diet, because it has so many names, it's hidden in so many foods, right, and it really does add to our waistline, and also increases our triglycerides, and things that we don't even realize cause sugar because they have different names. We think sugar just leads to diabetes, and if I don't have diabetes, I don't have a problem, but guess what? You might have other things going on, and the sugar is not helping.
Right. I'm so glad you mentioned the fruit and diabetics, because I hear that all the time. Like they'll be like, oh, I can't eat that fruit because, to raise my blood sugar. And I'm like, please eat the fruit. Eat the fruit, please. So I'm glad you emphasized that too. Yes.
We can eat it. So for the viewers, fructose, which is in fruit in its natural form, is only processed by the liver. So it's not like readily absorbed in the bloodstream, and it doesn't go anywhere to get stored. And it's a really good energy reserve for us. So truly, it's not going to spike your sugars too high. The glycemic load is low. There are some fruits we can overeat, I'm guilty of loving mangoes. But that's usually not the case with everybody. Usually we can all include some fruits into our diet.
Yes, yes. So since we know that we have sugar that's good in our fruit, and then maybe not the other, man-made sugars, why would you say it's so hard to stop eating sugary type foods and beverages? Like, why do people struggle with that?
Well, one, the way I say it is it's designed in a lab to make us love it. So we pay scientists to sit inside these major facilities to create something that our brain and body love and crave. And I think addiction is sometimes a really strong word, but it can be used in this area because it changes our behaviors, and we've all like fallen victim to this at some time. So for instance, if you're trying to give up having sugar in all your foods, you may start to experience like lethargy, feeling fatigue, headaches. I know at several points in my life, now I very rarely have sugar, but at several points prior to this, whenever I would stop, I'd become actually violently ill. Like I would vomit, and that's all the body like desire to want to have that product. So in that sense, we could link it to saying it's like an addiction. It raises our dopamine in our brain, so our body really loves to have it there. But really, in the man-made forms, and when it's concentrated, it gives us this like big hit in our reward center in our brain, and we like that. But truly, if we get off of those quote unquote hits of sugar, we will thrive. We can focus better. We can think better. Our actions aren't driven by this desire to need sugar, even if we don't realize it.
Yeah, that's so true. Like I'm thinking back now, especially since it's the holidays, of how, we overly indulge in certain things. And after telling myself, one of my patients actually brought me some peanut brittle, and he said, "Oh, your medical assistant said you don't eat sugar." I said, "No, but I eat this. I eat this." So this will be a time where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to give in, because it's just like a food from back in when I was younger that my grandmother used to make. So I was like, since she's gone, I was like, I'll eat it because you made it, and this just takes me home. But we have to be careful, like you said, with those things. And then when we try to stop eating those things, how we can actually have what you were kind of describing were like withdrawal symptoms. So sometimes people think that means that they should be eating it. And I'm like, no, your body is just going through withdrawal. It's telling you, please, I get rid of this. I want it out. And please don't give it back to me again.
Exactly.
So what are some tips that you may give a few of your patients or clients that are telling you that no matter what they do, they just can't give up those sugary type things, whether it's the donuts, the drinks, or Cokes, whatever it may be?
So it's really fascinating. So there can be different hard lines, right? So each person decides for themselves how they want it, like where they want to draw the line. They could just say, nope, I'm done, and look for become really familiar with all the euphemisms for sugar and just nix it out. And really, if you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, there is no sugar because you're not adding it. But it's a spectrum. So oftentimes I have a lot of patients who actually really want to do well and eat well, but they've been lied to. So they'll go get the yogurt and the granola bar for breakfast, and they think, or the cereal, and it's whole brand. It says doctor, it says lowers cholesterol.
Right.
It has all this fiber in it. This is good for me. It's only 100 calories. You flip it over, and really what the food industry and the diet industry has done is just kind of plagued our food with all these sugars that we can't even identify. And it's not good for us, and it's not good for our body. So generally, I usually don't have someone who says, Dr. Shah, I really need to have my yogurt in the morning. I love it so much, and I need to have this granola bar every single morning. And this muffin is just my jam every single. I don't ever experience that. I experience what you say, like the peanut butter brittle. For me, it's ice cream. I love ice cream. So I usually say like let's figure out the things you really really enjoy and have that in a moderation, like in moderation, and plan to eat it if you really love it so much, and then do it guilt free. But then all
Yes.
the other stuff, just get rid of it, and or work towards identifying it and slowly getting it out of your diet. So
Mhm.
each person's really different, but usually what you'll find is when you go through it, you start feeling so good that when you reintroduce it, you just have this almost like a hangover effect, and you feel
Mhm. Mhm.
body, and you're just punishing yourself. So it's like just stop unless it's
Right.
really, really worth it and you really, really want to enjoy it.
Yes. Yes, that's so good because that makes me think that sometimes when I tell people when they're going through my detox program and they want to go back to the sugar, I'm like, just realize, how you're going to feel and like write down how you feel now compared to when you actually add those things back, and you'll definitely see a difference. And then you'll start to think, and it's not a punishment, it's more like, do I really want to feel that way? Is it really worth it? So yeah, I'm glad you said everyone's different. So you kind of reflect on it yourself and everything there. So so many great things that you've told us about already about sugar. Is there anything else that you would want to mention, especially like I said, around these holidays or anything like that?
Yeah. I took some notes, so let me make sure. Oh, I think sometimes around the holidays we start falling into our favorite beverages. So pumpkin spice lattes, apple
Mm.
cider, hot cocoa, eggnog, and
Oh yes.
we give it all a pass because it's liquid.
Mm-hmm.
But it is literally liquid into our gut of sugar, and it just increases our sugar so much, like so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say you might want to just stick to water around the holidays and
That's good.
save save things for those desserts and treats that you really want. And then also just remember, we talk about the holiday season, but it's just holidays. It's not holiday
Yeah.
month. So you're just talking about a few meals here. It's nothing to derail you. You can be healthy right now.
Hmm.
So try to maybe just consider not having the drinks and
Hmm.
have the water instead. And
Yes.
mainly because that those sugar sweetened beverages really do increase our risk for diabetes and
Hmm.
tooth decay and heart disease. And sugar really does increase the amount of triglycerides in our body, which are also affecting our blood vessels in our arteries. And so many of us know we need to exercise and know we need to sleep well. But then we kind of give a pass to these liquid drinks, thinking it's okay.
Yes.
It's the holidays and it's sabotaging us. So just
Hmm.
drink water.
Yes, I love that. You are hitting me right there. Like listen, like those pumpkin spice lattes, especially like, oh, let's just drive through Starbucks and get that. Or I was really big on the eggnog too. So I'm like, I get you. So yes, so that's a very good point that you mentioned that if you're going to have a sugary treat, that you would rather have it in a food form than actually drink it. So definitely pick that over the drinks, and drink lots and lots of water.
Yes, drink lots and lots of water.
That would definitely help. All right, well, thank you so much. So where can someone find you if they want, some more information, or if they're in the Orlando area? How can they work
Yeah.
with you?
So if you go to my website, it's weight-sense.com. And on Instagram, I'm Nikita Shah Do.
Excellent. And I will definitely link your website and social media in our description, so people can just click on that and it'll be easy to actually reach you soon. Okay. All right. Well, thank you again so much. And thank you everyone for listening out there, and hope you have a happy holiday season. All right. Bye-bye.